Every man believes he can understand and control the woman he loves until he meets a Scorpio. With her, control becomes an illusion. You can't predict her, persuade her, or manipulate her into anything she doesn't want. She reads emotions faster than you speak, senses shifts in tone, and notices the smallest inconsistencies. When she's quiet, she's not lost in thought. She's studying you. If you're a Scorpio woman, write in the comments, "I'm proud to be a Scorpio." And if your girlfriend or wife is a Scorpio, write, "I truly love her. I don't want to control her." Let's see how many people actually understand the mind they fell in love with. To some men, that awareness feels intimidating. To others, it's magnetic. But for her, it's survival. Scorpio women are not born cautious. They are made that way through betrayal, disappointment, and years of reading people who said one thing and meant another. Every lesson sharpened her perception. Every heartbreak taught her strategy. That's why her silence isn't cold. It's protective. If you're a man who truly wants to understand his woman, you have to understand her psychology. Without it, you're not in love. You're just guessing. She doesn't shout to prove a point. She observes until the truth reveals itself. She doesn't fight for attention. She lets her absence speak louder. When she decides to leave, she doesn't take revenge. She simply reclaims her energy. Her calm isn't weakness. It's the sign of a mind that refuses to be controlled. This isn't just astrology. It's human psychology, the study of emotion, power, and the kind of woman who refuses to be owned. A Scorpio woman can love deeply, forgive slowly, and walk away permanently, because no man can ever truly control her. 1. The myth of control. Most men don't start with bad intentions. Control rarely looks like control in the beginning. It starts with protection, concern, or the need to keep things stable. But over time, that stability becomes supervision, that concern becomes correction, and that love, quietly, turns into ownership. What many men don't realize is that trying to control a Scorpio woman doesn't protect the relationship. It destroys it. Because the more you try to confine her, the more she learns how to escape without you noticing. Scorpio women don't fight loudly. They don't expose manipulation through argument. They expose it through silence. When she stops reacting, she's not surrendering. She's studying. She's learning how your mind works, what triggers your emotions, and how much of your power depends on her response. And the moment she sees the pattern, she disconnects emotionally long before she leaves physically. That's the part men never see coming. Her calm nature isn't passive. It's her psychological advantage. She knows that control depends on attention, and once she stops feeding yours, your power fades on its own. Most people mistake her stillness for submission, but in reality, it's the pause before a total shift. Scorpio women don't need to fight for freedom. They dismantle the illusion of control from within it. This isn't astrology talk. It's human psychology. Her zodiac only gives the pattern. Her experiences shape the weapon. She's emotionally intelligent, but not in a soft way. It's strategic empathy, the kind that feels what you feel, not to comfort you, but to understand you. And once she understands you, she can predict you. That's where most men lose the game without realizing they were even playing. For women watching this, you already know this pattern. How easily strength gets labeled as attitude, how calmness gets mistaken for coldness. The Scorpio woman carries this contradiction like armor. She's been called too intense, too mysterious, too controlling. But those are just words people use when they can't manage emotional power they don't understand. And for men, here's the truth. Few will admit, the desire to control often comes from fear. Fear of being exposed, of being outmatched emotionally, of loving someone who doesn't need you to survive. A Scorpio woman doesn't need control to love you. She needs honesty to trust you. The myth of control has always been one-sided. It teaches men to dominate and women to submit. But in reality, control is just another form of insecurity disguised as leadership. And Scorpio women, with their quiet awareness and emotional precision, are the ones who see through it the fastest. Because you can't manipulate someone who already understands manipulation. 2. The psychological blueprint. To understand a Scorpio woman, you have to understand how her mind works. Not the surface level you see, but the silent machinery behind her eyes. Everything about her begins with observation. She doesn't listen just to words, she listens to intention. Every gesture, every pause, every change in tone becomes a piece of data. She notices the difference between what you said and what you meant, between what you promised and what you delivered. Her memory isn't ordinary, it's emotional. When you hurt her, she doesn't just remember what you did, she remembers how it felt. And that feeling becomes a reference point. That's why Scorpio women rarely repeat mistakes. They build psychological maps of people, like emotional blueprints of behavior. Once you've been decoded, she'll know exactly how to predict your next move, even before you make it. Her calm face hides an analytical mind that operates like a therapist crossed with an interrogator. She studies human behavior not to control it, but to protect herself from it. Her ability to read people is a survival mechanism, not a talent. It was born the day she realized not everyone speaks the truth, and not everyone who says "I love you" means safety. At the root of her psychology lives a constant awareness of betrayal. It's her deepest fear, but also her sharpest teacher. That fear created her most powerful trait: the need for emotional control. Not control over others, but control over her own vulnerability. She knows that emotions are weapons in the wrong hands, so she became fluent in hiding them until she decides who's earned the right to see them. To men, that guarded nature can feel confusing. One moment she's affectionate, the next, she's distant. But what looks like mood swings is really calibration. She's measuring your consistency, your reactions, your patience. She's not testing you out of cruelty, she's testing you out of instinct. Because to a Scorpio woman, emotional control equals emotional safety. Her psychological structure is built on paradoxes. She's both empathetic and detached, loving yet cautious, open yet impossible to read. High empathy gives her access to people's emotions. Past pain taught her what to do with that access. It's a blend of intuition and trauma, the reason she can comfort someone while quietly assessing whether their story makes sense. In psychological terms, she's what researchers call an emotional strategist, someone who uses empathy not only to connect, but to navigate. Where most people react to emotion, she studies it. Where others seek validation, she seeks understanding. It's not manipulation, it's management. The management of chaos, of past wounds, of the endless need to feel safe in a world that rarely is. For women watching, this blueprint might feel familiar. The way your mind scans for danger even in love, the way you replay conversations in your head, the way you analyze tone changes that others dismiss. That's not overthinking, that's pattern recognition. It's how Scorpio energy protects itself. For men, the lesson is simple, but hard to accept. You can't outthink a woman who feels deeply and reasons faster. You can't hide your intention from someone who reads emotions like second language. If you lie, she won't explode. She'll observe. If you gaslight her, she won't argue. She'll detach. And once she detaches, no apology or gift can bring her fully back. Because she's already rewritten the blueprint that included you. The Scorpio woman's mind isn't just intelligent, it's evolved. It's what happens when empathy survives betrayal and turns into intuition sharpened by pain. She doesn't just see you, she understands you. And understanding, for her, is the ultimate form of power. 3. Emotional control versus manipulation. There's a fine line between emotional control and manipulation. And Scorpio women know exactly where it is. They walk that line every day, not because they enjoy power, but because it's the only way they know to protect their peace. When she withdraws, it's not about punishing you. It's about returning to emotional balance. Silence is her therapy. Distance is her detox. A Scorpio woman doesn't explode when she's hurt. She implodes. She goes inward, quietly processing everything. That's why her mystery feels so heavy. It's not a game. It's her recovery process. She knows that reacting gives the other person power and control. is something she doesn't give away easily. So she hides her emotions not because she's heartless, but because she's learned the cost of showing them to the wrong person. This hidden self is what Jung would call the shadow archetype, the unseen side of the psyche that holds both destruction and rebirth. For the Scorpio woman, the shadow isn't her enemy, it's her evolution. Every betrayal, every loss, every heartbreak feeds that shadow. And from it, she rebuilds herself stronger and quieter than before. Where others break, she transforms. Where others seek revenge, she seeks renewal. Her mask is her boundary. She wears it not to deceive, but to survive. It's how she maintains emotional control in a world that constantly demands emotional exposure. You'll never know what she's truly feeling unless she wants you to. And that mystery drives people crazy, because we live in a world addicted to transparency. Scorpio women remind us that power often lives in what's not said. She rarely forgives twice, not out of pride, but out of principle. Once she sees a pattern of betrayal, she doesn't try to change it. She simply steps away. Her forgiveness isn't a reset button, it's a closing ceremony. You'll never see her beg for clarity, because she already found it within herself. The peace she protects is sacred, and she won't trade it for temporary affection. To outsiders, that might look like manipulation, but real manipulation seeks control over others. Scorpio's control is internal. She controls herself, her emotions, her reactions, her energy. That's why she feels powerful even in silence. That's why her absence hurts more than her anger ever could. In psychology, transformation is the highest form of healing. And no sign embodies that transformation more than Scorpio. Her destruction isn't chaos, it's renewal. When she walks away, she's not escaping you. She's shedding the version of herself that once tolerated you. That's the secret of her emotional control. It's not about winning or losing, it's about rebirth. Over and over again until peace becomes her only loyalty. 4. The male illusion. Men have always mistaken silence for surrender. When a Scorpio woman stops speaking, most assume they've finally won the argument, that she's run out of words or lost her fire. But her silence isn't weakness. It's withdrawal from chaos, a strategic retreat that protects her mind from noise. She's not backing down. She's observing the collapse of control from a distance. Men often crave to dominate what they can't understand. It's not always malice. Sometimes it's insecurity disguised as logic. They tell themselves, "I just want clarity. I just need honesty," when what they really want is predictability. And predictability is something a Scorpio woman never gives. Her mystery threatens the fragile ego of those who rely on control for confidence. That's why many men try to decode her, to figure out her motives, her moods, her mind. But Scorpio women are not puzzles meant to be solved. They're mirrors meant to be faced. And here lies the trap most men fall into. When you look at her too long, you start to see yourself. She reflects your intentions, your desires, your fears, magnified and unfiltered. This is what psychologists call projection. The parts of ourselves we can't handle, we project onto others. And no one triggers projection faster than a Scorpio woman. Her depth exposes your shallowness. Her patience exposes your impulsiveness. Her emotional control exposes your lack of it. That's why she feels intense. Not because she's dramatic, but because she forces people to confront what they avoid in themselves. Her silence becomes a psychological mirror. When she stops responding, you hear your own voice louder. When she withdraws, you feel the emptiness you used to fill with her attention. She doesn't punish you. She lets your own reflection do it. Many men confuse dominance with power, but dominance fades when it meets awareness. True power doesn't control, it reveals. And that's what makes the Scorpio woman dangerous to insecure men. She reveals them to themselves. She doesn't argue, she exposes. She doesn't manipulate, she reflects. And most men aren't prepared to see that kind of truth staring back at them. The illusion of control ends where self-awareness begins. And the moment a man realizes he can't control her, he faces the real question. Was he ever in love with her? or just with the feeling of control she refused to give. 5. When she finally detaches. When a Scorpio woman detaches, it doesn't happen suddenly. It's not one argument or one broken promise that ends it. It's a slow, silent death. The kind you don't notice until she's already gone. By the time she stops caring, she's already grieved the relationship privately. She's cried, analyzed, accepted, and rebuilt, all while still standing beside you. Her detachment isn't coldness, it's closure. She doesn't disconnect to punish, she does it to survive. Loving deeply comes with a price, and no one knows that better than her. Each betrayal chips away at her emotional trust, until one day, something inside her simply switches off. And when that happens, there's no speech, no confrontation, no dramatic ending. Just silence. The kind that makes you realize she's already moved on while you were still rehearsing your apology. In psychological terms, this is her death and rebirth cycle, a core Scorpio archetype. When something or someone becomes toxic, she burns it down internally. Every memory, every attachment, every emotional trace is set on fire until only ashes remain. It's not cruelty, it's purification. She doesn't want revenge, she wants peace. After the emotional fire comes the rebirth. This is when the same woman who once begged for understanding starts smiling without explanation. She begins her emotional detox. No posts, no words, no signals, just quiet reconstruction. The glow-up that follows isn't physical, it's energetic. You can feel it before you see it. That glow-up is the result of liberation, a woman no longer defined by who hurt her. It's her soul rebuilding itself from the wreckage of expectations. The Scorpio woman doesn't just move on, she evolves into someone who no longer reacts to the version of you that once existed. And this is the moment people realize what they've lost. Not her attention, but access to her energy. She transforms pain into power, closure into clarity. And once she's reborn, there's no return. In the end, her detachment is the final act of self-respect. It's how she tells the universe she's done being the healer of those who keep breaking her. So when she finally walks away, don't mistake her silence for indifference. It's not that she doesn't feel anymore. It's that she's chosen peace over chaos, and herself over control. 6. The power they fear. The most misunderstood thing about a Scorpio woman is her power. People think it's about beauty, seduction, or charm. But her real power has nothing to do with attraction. It's psychological. It's the quiet, invisible pull that comes from seeing people too clearly. She doesn't manipulate energy, she reads it. That's what makes her dangerous. Scorpio women are natural psychologists, long before they ever learn the word. They sense emotional shifts the way others sense temperature. A subtle change in tone, a delayed reply, a forced smile. She feels them like tremors before an earthquake. You can lie with words, but your energy will always betray you. And she listens to energy more than speech. That's why people say she's magnetic. Her magnetism isn't seduction, it's understanding. You feel drawn to her because she makes you feel seen. Her attention is precise, her presence consuming. When she looks at you, it's not casual, it's diagnostic. She's reading your emotional patterns, identifying your weaknesses, calculating your truth. And once she knows who you are, she'll mirror it back to you. Some find that intoxicating, others find it terrifying. This is the kind of power men fear but can't resist, because it's not external, it's internal. You can't argue with it, buy it, or dominate it. It's the kind of power that doesn't need to announce itself. It reveals itself when you lie, when you pretend, when you underestimate her. In relationships, her energy acts like a truth serum. It exposes authenticity and burns through deception. That's why manipulative people can't stay near her for long. Their own masks become unbearable in her presence. She's not interested in control. She's interested in emotional alignment. If your energy feels inconsistent, she'll distance herself long before words are exchanged. Psychologically, this is what makes her magnetic and misunderstood. People confuse emotional depth with emotional danger, but what they're really feeling is accountability. Scorpio energy doesn't destroy, it exposes. Her real power is influence, the ability to shift emotions, awaken awareness, and pull truth out of people without asking. It's not witchcraft, it's emotional intelligence evolved to its highest form. And those who fear it usually have something to hide, because at her core, the Scorpio woman isn't playing games, she's reading souls. And if that feels like power, it's only because truth always does. 7. The truth behind her eyes. In the end, what makes a Scorpio woman unforgettable isn't her mystery, it's her truth. Beneath the calm eyes and measured tone lives a mind that's seen both heaven and hell and learned to walk through both with grace. You can hold her body, but not her soul. You can earn her loyalty, but never her control. She's not a storm to survive, she's a lesson to understand. Her love teaches presence, her silence teaches reflection, and her departure teaches consequence. Men who try to own her lose her. Men who try to understand her evolve because of her. The truth behind her eyes is simple. She feels everything, but shows almost nothing. That's not deception. It's discipline. She's not afraid of love. She's afraid of losing herself inside it. That's why she loves deeply but never blindly, gives everything but never forgets to keep something for herself. Her peace. For men, this isn't a warning. It's an invitation to grow. If you ever meet a Scorpio woman, don't try to read her. Let her teach you. She'll show you that real strength isn't in control, it's in respect. And if you ever earn her trust, you'll learn that her intensity isn't danger, it's devotion. So remember this, she doesn't destroy men, she exposes them. And in that reflection, the truth you see will either humble you or haunt you.